to sleep, but I wanted to talk to you about this. I've been looking into my Instagram a lot more often, and when you do that, or at least when I do that, I feel the urge to check my Instagram, but it does not change my day or my life in any significant good way. The only thing that it does is that it steals time from me and focus, especially focus, because like I said before, I'm a software developer, right? I have a lot of times where I have to wait for something to load, for example. And it's so easy to get sucked into your Instagram in that moment, and then you're not focused anymore on the problem that you had before. And then your whole workday gets so much less productive by just checking your phone during little work breaks that you inevitably have to take. That is something that I've noticed because it really does not matter what people post on their Instagram. I don't care. I don't even know these people, okay? Like, yeah, maybe this person is interesting to me or this person is inspiring or whatever, but like, it does not change my life in any good way if it just makes me less productive, and at the end of the day I feel worse about myself. And then also, have you ever thought of the word feed, your Instagram feed? Let that sink in. These big tech companies feed you the content that you watch. Isn't that insane? They literally decide through an algorithm what information they will feed your brain. They kind of control all of your thoughts, right? Because if you get really sucked into some sort of content, for example, maybe all of these guys that got sucked into Andrew Tate videos, these people got brainwashed through social media. Our brains have worked the same way for a long time now. We basically just learn through repetition. And if we see the same talking points over and over again on our Instagram feed, for example, or whatever social media feed you consume, this information gets basically cemented into your brain. So in the end, are you really thinking your own thoughts, or are you just thinking the thoughts that some abstract algorithm guide from some big tech company wants you to think? Not that I believe they have an agenda, maybe they do, I don't know. But is it really your choice what you watch? Because this algorithm just gets so good at predicting what you will click that it just shows you what you will likely watch. But that is not necessarily what you want to watch, right? Because of course I enjoy looking at beautiful people, but does it really make my life better to follow Instagram models and look at their body and maybe subconsciously compare myself to them over and over and feel worse at the end? You know what I mean? On the same note too, I don't know if that is a thing about me or if that is a universal experience, but sometimes I feel like I don't have any unique thoughts. Please tell me I'm not alone with this, but especially after I've watched a lot of social media, because that is more curated and specific to me, I noticed that I just think about what this content was about and what they said in the content. And yeah, maybe I also think about what I think about the content, but then in the end, it is just like a second step to it, right? I find that really interesting. And I'm wondering if that is something that other people experience as well, because until now, I have never heard someone talk about this before, and most of my friends are chronically offline, so I cannot really tell. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little strange, We spend so much time on our phones and our laptops, like on social media, but in the end, all of this really doesn't matter, does it? It's not really real. This video is taken on my phone, yes, and I am sitting here and I am a real person, but it's not the whole picture. You don't know that I've been sick this past week. You don't know that I've just come back from my Christmas party from work. you don't know where I'm at, right? Which is better this way. No offense, but I like to keep my privacy. It's not real for you, right? Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm getting too philosophical here, but what I want to say is we spend so much time on social media, and in the end, what we see on social media really does not matter, right? Because it's not our real life. Maybe it does matter what we see on social media if it impacts our real life. But for example, I have seen this so often that people ignore their real life by consuming social media. I feel like a lot of parents don't give their children phones, at least in Germany here. The parents have the phone though. So they have their kid in the stroller and then they are on their phone and the child is trying to talk to them and they don't react. They have conversations online, but not in real life with the people that actually matter, which are their children. You know what I mean? Isn't that kind of strange? And I know that I am probably guilty of that too, because I've been trying to escape my whole teenage years through social media, but I don't think this helped me, okay? I have tried it, okay? I have consumed hours and hours of YouTube videos every single day for years. And yes, I can speak English now, but other than that, I don't know. I don't really have experiences. I cannot tell you what these videos talked about. No idea what I watched at 14. Isn't that kind of sad? But I still remember the times when I hung out with my friends and we did silly stuff, and we did a photo shoot. Or one time in Germany, when you are a certain age, you're not allowed to go outside after midnight. And we were that age. And when we had a sleepover, we were like, oh, let's go outside unattended after midnight. And then a few minutes after midnight, we walked outside and we said, ooh, we're doing something forbidden. Those are the things that make memories. Silly memories, but still memories. I cannot tell you the content of the YouTube videos I've watched, especially not every single one of them, because I must have watched like 8 hours of YouTube every single day. At least 5, that's for sure. 5 to 8 probably. Isn't that kind of a lot of time wasted? Tell me, do you think spending so much time on social media is wasted? Because I think it is, but still I kind of want to keep watching social media, so I don't know. And then also, do you think the big tech companies maybe have an agenda by showing us specific content or not showing us specific content? Who knows? Tell me, I'd be interested. And I must say, I found this very cozy sitting here, even though I don't really like this. I'm in a hotel room, right? And it's a cute hotel room, but honestly, like these curtains are ugly. Respectfully. These curtains with red carpet, like who thought of this color concept? I have questions, okay? I have questions. It's almost 1 a.m. probably at this point. I need to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow at 6. Thank you for staying with me and have a nice day.